Hey guys, Miles here. I just wanted to get you started on the Scratch assignment. Let's see. Let's start off by making a new document. I'll close this. File, new. You're all pretty familiar with this by now. And just to reiterate, we want to get used to looking at the image size over here. We want to get into the, I don't know, I'll say 8 to 20 meg range. So we can do that by doing inches here. And let's say, 8 by 10. And let's say, make sure this is RGB, transparent. And right now the image size is really low at 1.19 megs. That's too small. So we need to bring this up till we're into that sweet spot. You could go to 300. And that's 20 megs, that's fine. 25 megs is fine. 30 megs is fine. But you want something big because that gives you the option to print it. And remember, you can always save a small version for the web of your work. Okay, I'll do that. 8 by 10, 300, RGB, 8-bit, transparent. Okay. There we go. I'll hit F so you don't see all this stuff in the background. F. There we go. And remember, if you hit F again, it toggles you through the different Photoshop views. Alright, so there's my canvas. Now if I decide that was a bad idea, I'd rather have this be more of a landscape orientation, I just need to go up here to image rotation, 90 degrees, clockwise or counterclockwise. It doesn't matter because there's nothing on there, so that flips the whole image that way. And now I'm just going to start drawing. I'll grab the brush tool over here. Now there's another brush tool down below that has the little arrow on it. I would stay away from that for this assignment. That's the history brush. Just use the regular plain old brush here. The other thing that I would stay away from that looks really inviting and delicious is the kind of Benjamin Franklin looking pen over here. It's a cool tool. But it's a vector-based drawing tool, and it will drive you absolutely crazy unless you know what you're doing. So don't touch that, no matter how awesomely 1700s it looks. So yeah, come on over here to the brush tool, and up here at the very top of the canvas, you've got your brush settings up here, and just take a second to get familiar with these. You can get really fancy. I don't use this too much at this point, but there are a lot of cool things you can do with that. Here's the main thing that you'll probably want to use. It's their diameter, which makes your brush bigger or smaller. As you can see, smaller, smaller, bigger. And the hardness of the brush, which gives you, if the hardness is set to 100%, you get a very, let me make a darker line here. D, as in dinosaur, gives you the default black and white color scheme, which is kind of a handy shortcut. So you can see this line is really hard and sharp. If I decrease the hardness all the way down to 0, I'll get a really fuzzy line, even though I didn't change the diameter of the brush. Almost more of like a spray can look or something. Those are the two main controls, I think, for this kind of work. I'll marquee all of this stuff and hit delete. Now, before we go on, I just wanted to get you guys familiar with two really good shortcuts that I learned from a student a couple of years ago that I use, 6,000 times a day now. And they're B, well, I knew this before. B is brush. And you can either flip your pen around, or if you can't be bothered to do that, E is eraser. And B and E. And you can see you can really get some kind of cool effects just by using that combination of B, B, and E. And you don't hold those keys down, you just hit them once, and then that switches your tool. E for eraser. B. E. So here anyway, as I get lost here, I wanted to show you those shortcuts I mentioned before, and they're the bracket keys on your computer. They're the keys to the right of the P key on your computer. If you hit the one right next to the P, it makes the brush smaller. Just keep hitting that. And if you hit the one next to that, the brush gets bigger. Now those are brilliant. And that works for both the B, the brush, and the eraser. So if your eraser, I hit E for eraser, and this is the eraser icon over here, you can see. So if that brush is too big, I use those little bracket keys and make it smaller, and then I can go in take that out there. B for brush, make it smaller if I want. Make it bigger actually. Smaller. And that's Command Option Z to do multiple undos if you need to step back. So I'm just brushing some extra strokes on here. And then I'll hit the E key to get my smaller brush. Let's see what that looks like. Now I'm just totally goofing around. I had no idea what I was doing, and I've not used this kind of modified brush stroke with the eraser very much, but it seems kind of cool. And I think it's just, you want to have fun with this assignment. It's kind of like Bob Ross, making some happy trees and that kind of thing. I think, I'm going to get a Bob Ross picture up here.